But why did I go into that story is that it's a reality on the ground right now that you can't even believe. And they're not even equipped to deal with it. There aren't infrastructures to, there aren't spaces where people can go to get treatment. That isn't even, that's not even, you know what I mean? So like, there is, as much as we say that Africa is re-emerging at this point, there's a real opportunity for those of us who are here, who may be philanthropists, who may be activists, who may be humanitarians, that we should not overlook that situation. And I am glad that it was incorporated, because this is a teaching, it's lots of lessons in there, but I really want us to explore that as well. And as we have the conversation, let's let it translate. You know what I mean? I don't want that to get lost in the movie and the conversation. So I'm glad that you brought it up. Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to add something to that. Yeah, speaking about investment, though, I also want to note that in the age of globalization, things are fluid. People are going all over the world making money. China is now the new colonialist in Africa. So in every industry, as in the movie industry, we want to make sure that we own the business. No, we want to make sure that when we're talking about funding, we're not seeking funding where we're not being obligated to be enslaved, right? So we really want to make sure of that, because our talent and our resources and intellectual capital, we want to be cognizant and make sure that we're in charge of that funding coming in and who is being hired to do the work, right? So that's really very important, because it's a really lucrative industry and the potential is fantastic. So we want to make sure of that. I also want to speak to the fact that this movie is really woke, to use that word woke, right? In the sense that Jesus is black, hello.
Right on.
Jesus is black. And the daughter, Lola,
there's no other choice.
I'm saying that,
It's gonna be black.
I'm saying when I was growing up in Nigeria, I've seen statues with Jesus is white. Yeah. God is God, but you can portray God in whatever image just suits your. So the fact that we recognize that, it's very important. And the little girl that plays your daughter, Lola's doll, her doll was also a black doll. Really. So when we were growing up, we had white dolls, and we didn't really read anything to it. So when we know better, we do better, and we tell our story correctly. And we tell our story from being informed and being really, I don't want to use the word well-educated, we don't have to go to college, but to be woke. We know the audience that we're trying to reach out to, and we want to get it right, because if we're fake, they'll see that we're fake. So this is a really powerful.
I would love for us to say we were that woke. But yeah, I think it speaks to everything that's even happening on this side of the pond. Representation is important. It's hard to love yourself when you worship something that's not you. It's kind of like an oxymoron to me. So there was no other discussion about Jesus. Yeah, he's gonna be a black dude if he, we could have, Anyway, I don't want to go too far into that. The young lady that plays my daughter, fantastic. In fact, I tell you, she was the best actor on set. She turned 6 on set.
Wow, that's great.
The opening sequence of Breakfast, she practically directed that. I have to tell you, she didn't miss her lines. And she hit her mark with the same newness, take after take, like literally. We bonded in a way, I think it came across to some extent. That was also a very important thing, because we weren't sure we could find a Nigerian child actress. So we actually had plans to go to Canada to search for, and then we got wind of a commercial that we thought was shot in South Africa. We're like, okay, no, we'll go to South Africa and get this girl. This is the girl we want. We start researching. She's in Lagos. We said, what? So amazing young lady. I can go into so many anecdotes of her on set. To just quickly on the decision about drugs. Yeah, very conscious. Right now, you have Uber drivers that deliver drugs to people. That's where we are to some extent. And that's, I don't say that to have everybody gasp or anything. It's just we are waking up and we are gaining freedoms. And with that choice to be free, you can make choices to do whatever, right? And the danger, though, or the thing to be mindful of is that Nigeria and most emerging markets are leapfrogging. So as opposed to America had a crack at the epidemic and they this and that, and they had institutions that you could build support, we've gone from no drugs to everyone, all the drugs. I mean, literally, they're doing crystal meth, they're doing stuff that I'm like, ha. So that's the only thing that's really dangerous right now, is that we do not have this infrastructure to support so many people that are getting caught up on this. And it's not just the poor, it's the people that have a lot of money. You don't get to send an Uber driver to deliver your drugs if you don't have some money.
So as many questions as me and Felix have, right? We know the audience has some questions, so we have some microphones up there for you guys. So if you have any questions, okay, walk to the microphone. The microphones are all set up over there. So if you want to have a question, you can ask the question.